All right, in this video, the objective is I can use the commutative, associative, and distributive properties to add, subtract, multiply, and divide complex numbers, substituting -1 for I squared. All right, there's a lot of this. All right. So, multiplying a complex number. Well, anytime you have something in front of the parentheses, you got to distribute. All right? And distribute means multiplying. So we're going to multiply -I times 3 is -3i. -I times +I is -I squared. All right? Now remember, this is always important to remember. I squared is equal to -1. So I have -3i minus I squared I can replace as -1. So now I have -3i plus 1. All right, now make sure you put it in standard form. So standard form is a plus or minus bi. So in this case, it will become 1 minus 3i. And that will be your answer. All right, here I am going to use distribution property again, but since I am multiplying two binomials, we use the terminology FOIL. All right, really it is distribution on steroids. So I'm going to take 2, multiply both terms in the other one, and I'll take 3i and multiply both terms of the other one. All right, so 2 times -6 is -12. 2 times -2 is -4i. 3i times -6 is -18i, and then 3i times -2 is a -6i squared. And just be careful when you do it. I times I is I squared, just like if you're doing x times x, y times y, and so on. Right? So you treat it like a variable. All right, so now we combine like terms. All right, so we have, oh, before I do that, I have an I squared there. So before I do anything else, I like to rewrite this without the I squared. I squared, remember, is equal to -1. So I'm going to plug -1 in here. So -6 times -1 becomes a +6. All right. Now let's combine like terms. All right, here are the terms. Oh, excuse me, one color. I do not have the I, so -12 and +6 gives me a -6. Here are the I's. I got -4 and -18, so I become -22 I. And there we go. All right, the next one. All right, so ignore this. This is from Smartboard or notebook, which is Smartboard technology. It was interactive. I just printed this out, so just ignore that. So what I want you to do now, since I just did one, go ahead, FOIL this, distribute that. So hit pause, do it, and then once you think you're done, hit play, and then you can check your answers. Okay? All right, so this distributes. We're going to do 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times -2i is -2i. 2i times 1 is 2i, and 2i times -2i is -4i squared. All right, so you got 1 minus 2i, well, -2i, those are opposite terms, so they cancel out, so it's 0. So you're just left with 1 minus 4i squared. Well, if you notice, I squared, we know is equal to -1. So I'm going to take -1, plug in for I squared. Right, so that gives me 1 plus 4, and then since they don't have, so these are like terms, so I can add them, so it gives me 5. Right, so I get a value of 5. All right, hit the pause on this one, do it, and then hit play and see how you make out. All right, so we've got 3i times 9 is 27i. 3i times -I is -3i squared. And we know I squared is -1. So that's 27i plus 3. All right, make sure in standard form you put the one without the I first, and the term with the I goes last. And there you go. All right, for the last one, I want you to distribute again. Or FOIL, whichever terminology you're more comfortable with. Hit pause. Well, first of all, hit pause, do the problem, simplify it, and then when you think you're done, hit play, and then you can compare to how I do it. All right, so we distribute, so it'll be -3, positive 6i, 12i, negative 24i squared. All right, so -3 plus 6i plus 12i. Remember, this right here becomes a -1. I squared is equal to -1. So -24 times -1 is positive 24. All right. These are the terms that do not have I, so you can add them or subtract them or combine like terms. So it'll be 24 minus 3 is a 21. There's a 6i and 12i, so that gives me positive 18i, and you're finished.